I can't hear for some reason. No, I'm gonna try rejoin Giuseppe. Give me 1 second.
It's my bad. No, he's gone. It's my bad. It was my bad. Wait. Come back, Luca. I didn't put on the microphone. Mamma mia, what a disaster. What a disaster life. What a disaster life. What a disaster life. Wait, let me put me like that. Attention. He will come back. Wait. Mamma mia. Luca, it was my bad. I didn't put on the microphone.
Oh, okay. I thought it was me again, man.
Oh, no, it's my bad. Wait, you know what? Wait, 1 second. We start all over again. Wait, guys, 1 second.
Guys,
we
I'm
start
so
all
sorry.
over again. I will not put it long, but just let's pretend, okay? So we go again. Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel, I hope you're all doing well. It's the first time today that we start that video, forget about the past. Ragazzi, today I'm not alone, Luca is together with me for what I believe will be an epic live, a huge big live, a live full of surprises that are good, surprises that we were absolutely not expecting. Ciao Luca, ciao my man, welcome back, benvenuto.
Ciao Giuseppe, thanks for having me on again. I loved the last time. I thought it was a really good live. We spoke a lot about Juventus in detail. We covered a lot of things, but it's been a little while since then, and I think there's a lot of new things to cover that I'm looking forward to. I thought a second ago, guys, for reference, before we started the live, I could not hear Giuseppe talking, and I was like, oh no, it's happened again, man. Now we've started. But luckily, it isn't anything to worry about, and we're here.
This time it's me, actually, to explain to people what happened because we had some technical issues. Luca, fantastic new camera today, but the sound was not working. So we tried, he was not hearing me. So we switched again to the old material. And of course, when I start the live, he doesn't hear me. So he's thinking it's again his problem with the computer, but it is not. Exactly. Luca, you were here in the beginning of December. We spoke about Juve. Are we happy so far? We had a lot of talks. We spoke about Conceição, we spoke about Cambiaso, that was back then also on the thumbnail. We spoke about Juve in general. It was really appreciated live by the community here, but I think that the people are not appreciating this live today because I don't see a maximum of like, and that's not okay. That's absolutely not okay. Guys, Luca is making us the favor to be here, to have a chat with us, speaking about all Juve, and we have only 75 likes. This is not only not beautiful, but this is not acceptable at all.
That's not good. We need to get that up for sure.
Guys, today we need to break records. This is absolutely not normal. So put that thumb up. Okay, now that the people, wait, we are getting there really fast. Wait. No, otherwise we don't start. Okay, now we can start. Luca, how is the day? What about the news? How are you surprised? Are you not surprised? Are you happy? Not happy? Tell me.
Of course, I'm very upset about the Cambiaso news. You guys know he's my favorite player at the club. I wasn't surprised that it came out in the sense that Manchester City are linked to him. I thought it was only a matter of time. I've spoken about it on my TikTok for a long time, saying that if Pep finds him or if Madrid find him, it will be there'll be a lot of pressure on the board to sell him for that kind of fee. And I knew it. I wasn't surprised. I claimed he was the best fullback in the world. And even if you don't think he is the best, he's up there. There's no doubt about that. He is one of the best. So I expected it. I called it a long time ago, but I am very disappointed. I'm very upset because I feel like he's one of those players that's untouchable for me at the club, alongside guys like Kenan Yildiz that I just would reject every single offer because I think they're so important in the project we're building. I don't want to lose them. I don't know how we're going to replace him. If we were to lose him, can we replace him? Probably not, Giuseppe. So, yeah, I'm very upset.
Look, we have a lot of things to speak about today. Kolo Muani, Alberto Costa, possible center backs, not one, but two. We have some good news, some bad news, as I told before, but we start immediately with that bomba news with Cambiaso because we already introduced it, and I see that the people in the chat are extremely furious for a lot of people. Some people are saying, Beppe, for a lot of money, no. For a lot of money, you need to sell him because at a certain moment that's happened. So to put things into context before continuing the talk with Luca, what happened is that I just go with chronology, because you said, if discovered him, Pep discovered him long time ago. Actually, there was already a big, huge interest in the month of May 2024 on the player, where he was, of course, happy to have that interest, because when you have an interest from Pep Guardiola from Manchester United, from Manchester City, of course you are happy, because it's always beautiful to have these big clubs that are interested in you. At the end, talking with Juve, there is a contract extension with really beautiful words of Andrea Cambiaso, increase in salary, of course, and also Lazio that plays against Juve, where he received that captain band. The rumors are gone until that Juve City game of Champions League that we won 2-0, where Pep Guardiola on microphone says, of course, there are some players of Juve that I really like, but I will not reveal you the name. Where ding, ding, dong, I'm thinking, of course, again, of Andrea Cambiaso, until a few days ago, where Matteo Moretto said, pay attention, there could potentially be a new offensive of Manchester City for Cambiaso. I was never thinking that it would have been for January, but actually now, and we saw it today with the Bomba, this morning Tutto Sport, then Di Marzio, Matteo Moretto, Fabrizio Romano, Romeo Agresti, Giovanni Albanese, all the big ones that reported, pay attention, because there is a possible offer. That offer didn't arrive at Juventus office at the moment, so it's not a concrete offer, but City that could in the next coming days go with an offer between the 60-65 million euro, where Di Marzio said Juventus, they have no intention really to sell the player in January, but if that's the first offer, Juventus could request 80 million euro. Of course, then you negotiate a bit less here, a bit more there, to find themselves between 65-70 million euro. And this is the whole context. Did I explain it well, Luca?
Like a prime Shakespeare, Giuseppe, the way you spoke. I understood everything. Very, very poetic. Yeah.
It's beautifully done, eh? We can close the live. It's over. People, they know everything already. Okay, this is the story. So, what do you think? Let's start from a Manchester City point of view. Does it make sense for them to go for a player like that? And also, does it fit their system?
Of course it does. Yeah. I mean, I think that Cambiaso, unfortunately for us, is the perfect Pep Guardiola player, in the sense that we've seen Pep with Rico Lewis, where the fullback inverts into the midfield, plays that technical role, that important role. We've seen him do it with John Stones, and Cambiaso is a player that is arguably, well, no, actually, for me, the most ambipedal fullback in the world, in the sense that he is excellent and elite with both feet. Genuinely, in my lifetime, I think Philippe Lahm might be the only one that I've seen that is so good with his right and his left as a fullback, and Cambiaso has that. So for him to be able to play on either flanks, invert comfortably as a number 8, can play in that midfield role, he suits Pep's football to a T. And then we talk about Manchester City needing a rebuild. We all know this. They have aging players like Kyle Walker, who was once a phenomenal player, arguably the best right back in Premier League history. However, we've seen that decline this season, where he's getting caught out. He's not the player he once was. So there's no question marks about it that Pep and Manchester City do need a fullback. And then when you're looking at profiles in the world, Trent is obviously unattainable. He would never go from Liverpool to City, and he's most likely going to Real Madrid. So who else is on the market? And I'm not saying Cambiaso was always on the market, but someone's always on the market for a certain price, let's be honest. So who else could fit Pep's system, be an elite player? Cambiaso is that option. And I think it's logical for Manchester City to push for this kind of player. And I'm not surprised at all. I kind of expected Real Madrid to maybe push them a little bit for that signing, but I think they're focusing more on Trent Alexander-Arnold on a free in the summer. So I think it's going to be, mostly Manchester City trying to get the Italian signature. And I'm really upset about it, just because I feel like it'd be a really, even like, I know 60, 65, even if they offered 80 million, Giuseppe, I know it's a ridiculous fee, especially for a fullback. I know he'd be the most expensive fullback in the history of football. But I just think a player that integral to the way we play, and a player young who supports Juventus, Italian, I just want
Juventus. I don't know, because I want to break now the big legend.
Okay, va bene. Let's talk about the mascot picture. But
that mascot picture is actually because he played in the youth sector of Genoa, and you know that when You
Oh
go
yeah,
to a
they
team.
were the opposition's
It's
team.
the
Yeah,
you know, it's always the
yeah,
kids
of
from the
course,
club
of
that
course.
go into both teams. So he's a Genoa supporter. That doesn't mean that he doesn't like Juve. You know, when you are playing at Juve, you have a heart for Juve. But that story, that beautiful fairy tale story that he is a Juventino since birth, maybe has been a bit inflated.
Yeah. But yeah, that's
It's
a good
okay. We
point.
can sell him now, Luca. We can sell him now.
Yeah, for that, you know what, man? I forget. No,
No,
but
but you know, it was a story that I kept here. I kept it here, you know, hidden. And I said the day that he will leave, I will going out with
it's
that.
a good one. It's a good one. No, but you know, something that's always frustrated me about Juventus Giuseppe is we're the biggest club in Italy, right? But
Yeah.
I always feel like we're not, to a lot of players, we're not the final destination club in the sense that there might be a Madrid above us or a Barcelona above us. And the moment I realized that was when Paul Pogba left the club. Because we were at the top of the world. We were a top 4 team in the world. We knew we were going to be winning leagues, fighting in Europe. And he went to Manchester United, which was obviously a decline. But there were also rumors that he would go to Real Madrid at the time, which, okay, could have been an upgrade, granted. But something that's always frustrated me is we don't keep onto the best players in the world. And that upsets me. And I know, of course, football's a business as well. And the club want to generate profits and want to generate money. I completely understand that. But for me personally, I don't want to see Cambiaso go. I don't, because I just feel like he's irreplaceable. I look at it and I think, who can come in, that's that integral, that is that versatile. And earlier this season, I saw a stat. He was number 1 in interceptions. He was number 1 in ground covered. He was number 1 in minutes. He was number 1 with touches in the final third, and he's a fullback. He was number 1 at a point with big chances created in the final third. He was topping all of our players, and there are some talented players that he was going up against in these categories, in multiple categories, both offensive and defensive. So I've said it before and I'll say it again. If I ever had a say, Cambiaso would stay at the club. There wouldn't be two ways about it. However, unfortunately, I don't have the final say, and these rumors are legitimate. But yeah,
I want to close. I want to close first the Manchester City. I will answer all your questions and give my opinion, of course, as well. But I want to close the Manchester City point of view. Why do you think that they go crazy now in January? Because these kind of big transfer, usually we expect them in June, July. Why are they moving so far? I have my own answer, of course, but I wanted your idea first.
just because they've fallen so far in the title race, I think, Giuseppe, and they need to try and.
Do you think, or I will tell you immediately, or do you think that they are a bit scared that a possible ban of transfer might happen, and they say, you know what, let's go fast in buying. At least we are easy and relaxed for 1-2 sessions because we need to change, and that's why we are pushing now to accelerate what we are letting come in on top, of course, of the ranking of the Premier League.
No, that's a very interesting point, actually, you make, because I didn't think about that straight away. That is an interesting point. But I also want to say, if I'm a footballer, would I want to go to Manchester City right now? Because look, they have the 115 charges. For all we know, Giuseppe, this summer, they could get relegated. They could be slapped with minus 40 points, 30 points, starting the Premier League in a position that the Premier League's never seen before. There's going to be a punishment of some sort for Manchester City, from what we've read, from what we know about the case. So why is Cambiaso, why is Marmoush even considering possibly going there? Because the way I see it, right, is they risk getting destroyed. Sort of how the Serie A sort of tried to destroy us with Calciopoli. There's a big risk of Manchester City getting relegated because they are.
I believe personally they already know. They already know the possible sanction. Of course, I'm not an expert, so I was much better informed for you, of course, back then. But I don't know. But I think they already know. And if they go with so much full power, is that probably they know that they need to anticipate their big signings. That's why I saw here a fantastic, beautiful question in saying, oh, if that's the case, Beppe, they have the pressure on their side. So instead of going with ask 60 million euro, increase it. Now, asking 95 is maybe a bit too much. But the 80 could be even realistic because now it's maybe Juventus that has the time on their side. Because I believe that a transfer like that, if City goes into the summer, it's City that has the time on their side because they have that attractiveness, they have the power of playing what competition, etc., etc. They have all the time in the world in seducing that player. Now, they are really in a rush, which means that Juventus can potentially increase that request. Does it make sense or not, Luca, what I'm trying to
Of course,
figure
of
out?
course. I completely understand your point of view as well. And
Now,
I think you made a good point as well. I didn't think about that at first, to be honest. But then I read on Twitter today that they were trying to get the deal for the summer and not for January. That's what confused me a bit. Maybe it could be like a buy now with Cambiaso legally coming to the club in the summer. Maybe it could be something like that.
a bit like they did for Udogie.
Yeah,
not
exactly.
City, of course, but
Kulusevski.
yeah, you know, like signing the player already, paying the player, and then letting him stay for 6 more months at the club on loan, which would be really strange, I believe, for Cambiaso. But you never know because we have a new management. Look, Kvaratskhelia in these hours already saying goodbye to Napoli, going to Paris Saint-Germain for a lot of money. That means that Serie A is a selling league. That's a fact. If the big money is coming, like for Kvara or like for Cambiaso, Serie A is a selling league at the moment. That's the era. This is not because of Juve. This is not because of Napoli. This is because at the moment it is what it is, because the big money is coming from where you live in Premier League. Now, I remember that there were some situations where we regretted a lot. And Alexandro, for example, that a lot of people, they hated and they were celebrating when he left for 0. That player was really for a huge request from Chelsea. They wanted to sign him, which we didn't do. For what reason? Because in that same summer, Dani Alves decided to leave immediately. Bonucci left for Milan. So a lot of players left from the defense, and you couldn't allow yourself to lose 3/4 of your defense. And this is actually why Alexandro stayed, and you refused that big offer, and you regretted it. So I think that an offer from, let's say, 60 up to 80, 60 up to 70, it's an offer that if you refuse today, you will never have that offer again. And probably it could be that you will regret it in the future. Crazy, not crazy about that offer and that similarity with an Alexandro.
I do.
So Raz is saying the same. Did we regret selling Chiesa of 100 million euro? Probably yes today.
Yeah, of course, Giuseppe. I understand what you're saying, and context is important. You know, like you said with the Alexandro deal, we just lost Dani Alves, who was on a 1-year contract, of course, but he went to PSG. We lost Bonucci in a very imminent fashion to Milan. But I'd say even at the time, I wasn't... Say we kept Dani Alves and Bonucci for argument's sake, right, that summer. I wouldn't have... At the time, I didn't feel like we should have sold Sandro because, in my opinion, in the 16-17 season, Sandro was the undisputed best left back in the world, in my opinion, throughout that campaign, or at least top 2 with Jordi Alba. Sorry, actually, I forgot about Marcelo. He was second though. Alexandro was second behind Marcelo, in my opinion. And just like that now, Cambiaso is, for me, the best fullback in the world, but at least top 3. Okay, he can play on, and he's way more versatile than Sandro. In my opinion, he's better going forward. He's more versatile. He can play on either flank. He's a much more refined modern-day footballer. So I understand what you're saying about maybe this opportunity won't come up again. But I just think Cambiaso's so good, I can't see him declining, especially because he's young as well. I can only see him improving, right? So I don't really care if this opportunity doesn't come up again because I don't want to lose Cambiaso. I see him as I see him in the long-term project. So for me, it's indifferent whether next year City come back with the same offer or a less offer. I don't care because I would tell them to go away either way. So I do hear what you're saying, but at the same time, no real money would will convince me otherwise, just because I feel like we need to try and build. We need to build that project, especially because Motta's a new coach. He needs to keep these kind of players. And people keep talking about, these players, then it's not Motta's team. They don't fit his system. These are Allegri's players. You need to give him time in the transfer market. I hear that. Yes, a lot of these players aren't Motta system players. But let me tell you who is a Motta system player. Cambiaso. So you lose another Motta system player.
I agree.
What are we going to do? You understand what I'm trying to say? So
I said exactly the same in the video I recorded before you went live with us. I said exactly the same. Cambiaso is a Motta system player. Probably if you're looking at the first part of the season, it was incredible. Doing the right movements at the right time. It's a player that can play on the left, on the right, defensively, left, right, offensively, can be an additional midfielder as well. So it's a player that is really fitting and also carrying that ball. Of course, we all have that image of Juve Lecce or Lecce Juve when he lose that ball when we're. But hey, guys,
It happens, man. It happens.
Yeah, but you know who pissed. You know who jinxed the season of Cambiaso? It's Beppe, because I have that jinx, and when I buy the players on my shirt, then they leave or
Hey,
they get
Beppe, you're
injured.
not alone, man. I got some bad luck too, man.
I will tell you the story. So I didn't buy the away shirt for a long time, because I was still deciding who should I put there, because I already had Ken and Yildiz on the home shirt. The third one, this time I took no players. And I said, you know what? Wait. At the end, I take Cambiaso. It arrives on the 5th of December. The 7th of December, we are playing against
You ordered
Bologna,
it late.
injured, and the season of Cambiaso is a disaster since then. And now that story, it's my fault. So I'm really sorry for that.
Hey, but
Now,
you know, I got a story as well with the shirts. So
you're also jinxing the players.
the home shirts only, though. It goes back to the 2020-21 season. I put Delict on my home shirt. He doesn't leave at the end of the season, but he ends up leaving. 21-22, I put Dybala, and he leaves at the end of the season. Last season, I got 2 home shirts, and somehow I put Pogba and Chiesa on both of them, and they both end up leaving. So, and then this season, Cambiaso. So maybe I don't have the best luck either on the home. Maybe next season, I'm going to put nobody on my home shirt, and I'm just going to get a plain home shirt. I think that's probably my best bet as well.
Wait, I'm trying to find something. You will laugh, I believe, if I show you that. I don't have it. Damn. I had a list of all the shirts I had and all what happened to these players. Starting with Chiellini buying the shirt immediately after that game against Napoli. Boom, crack, end of season. You know, the season of Sarri.
Yeah.
Then Paulo Dybala buying the shirt. Boom, season over for Paulo Dybala. Disaster season. Paul Pogba. And then crack, injury. I take Fagioli, betting case.
That's
over.
bad, yeah.
Every season, every single season, it's a total disaster.
It's a disaster.
It goes far. Anyway, if we go back seriously, look, you know, according to me, and I said it yesterday to Luca Monblano on Juventus, I said, no, for me, it's untouchable. You cannot touch Cambiaso, 24 years old, Italian player. The one that I was there for Lazio Juve in the stadium, Juve Lazio, sorry. I was watching him with that captain, man. I said, this guy, okay, I don't expect players to stay 10 or 15 years like 20 years ago. But for a few periods, at least, I can recognize my Juventus building with such players. Yildiz, that is not Italian. Cambiaso, like you said earlier. These are the players that I say, okay, I can recognize myself. I can start building for a few years, with trust in these players, especially when they are great. We are starting a project with younger players. We were lucky because I never believed in Cambiaso when he came from Bologna. Never. According to me, never. I said that will be a good rotational player. And he convinced me at match day 1 immediately with Max Allegri. If I'm not wrong, it was a victory 3-0 against Sassuolo. Udinese 3-0. Yeah. You know, that first game, I said, wow, what a guy. Immediately impressed about him. And he did really well. And this season, he even added to his game the possibility to play 90 minutes in a row, which was, that extra thing. And also playing a bit more from the back. So I was really, really loved. So for me, don't touch him. Also, he's the very first player that I interviewed live with him next to each other. Fantastic person, fantastic guy. So for me, it's untouchable. Then on the other side, if you have that money that is coming in, because that money needs to come from somewhere. If we go back to the beginning of Mercato, there were a few names in the possible exit list to finance the Mercato of Juve. Fagioli was there, because it's pure profit. Danilo was there. Bangula were some voices. Rui was on that list, and Arthur. If we do the recap of all these players, starting with Arthur, we are the 16th. There is Betis Sevilla on him, but they don't want to pay the salary. So the player is still there. And I'm not sure if he will be able to find a club. Danilo will leave for free. We will save a bit of his salary. Rui will stay. Bangula is doing really well. A beautiful surprise in the beginning of the season. He will not be sold. And if really you sell him, you will maybe earn at the moment as we speak 10, 12 million, which are not enough. And then you have a Fagioli where there were some voices, but nothing really serious came. So at the moment, Fagioli is not even the top priority in that list to leave Juve because there are no offers. So there are two players that are remaining. If we are listening to the rumors, because the rumors today are saying we took Kolo Muani on a loan for free for 6 months, we took Alberto Costa for 12 million, a bit more than 12 million, which was really surprising, by the way. But we still have one or two center backs short. Where is that money coming from? When I read Juventus is ready to invest nearly 50 million euro for Araujo, and asking ourselves, but where is that money coming from? We are really doing looks like we are doing a summer mercato at the moment. This is really a summer mercato, Juve. And that's where I have one name on the top of my list. It's Dusan Vlahovic leaving. And it's true that if you have a Dusan Vlahovic and an Andrea Cambiaso, these two guys can potentially really make a new revolution in that winter market. So these are the two names that can bring you money.
But even on Vlahovic, Pepe, but I don't think Vlahovic would be able to even bring in 60 million, mostly because of the fact that his contract is expiring very soon. And that probably lowers his value a little bit. And I don't think Vlahovic is as refined a footballer as Cambiaso, I would say, in the sense that Cambiaso in his role is better than Vlahovic in his role, in my personal opinion.
Provocation. Yeah. If tomorrow you have 60 million for Dusan tomorrow from Arsenal, from United, whatever, you accept or not? Look, regardless from Cambiaso. Cambiaso could still be sold or not, whatever. We don't care. Vlahovic, you do or you don't?
I would say 60 million, selling Vlahovic for 60 million on paper with how long's left on his contract would be a good move, yes. However, I like Vlahovic. I believe in Vlahovic. And Vlahovic is our biggest goal threat. So losing him now, I can quite comfortably tell you that I don't believe we would even have a chance of getting top four. If I haven't seen Kolo Muani play football yet for Juventus. He could be, the second coming of Gonzalo Higuain for us. However, I think right now, if we were to lose Vlahovic and Kolo Muani was our main striker with Milik as a backup, even though Milik is injured, so we don't really have a backup, would we get top four? I would probably bet against us. So I don't want to lose Vlahovic either, Beppe. But if I had to pick one to lose, I would choose Vlahovic over Cambiaso, yes.
I give you the latest on Dusan Vlahovic from what I heard. There are two different sources. The first one is saying that Juventus, they will sit with the agent in the month of February, so after the transfer market, again, trying to offer that extension of contract for way less than he's earning today, but they already know that Dusan will not accept it. So as easy as it looks like, Dusan will be on the market in the summer.
But then... What about this then? Oh, okay, sorry.
The second one is really clear. If an offer arrives in these days, Juventus would not be against it. By the way, they would be happy. There was a first initial talk from Arsenal, but they were offering, like you said, 40 million euro. Now, with two players injured, Arsenal, they might increase possibly that offer if they really want to go immediately for January for the player. If Juventus goes with 50 million euro, Vlahovic is gone now.
Yeah, I would expect them to sell for that. Yeah, I would expect if an offer came in around 50 million, 60 million, I would expect Juventus to sell now. But I always say, look, on Vlahovic's contract renewal, I would renew Vlahovic, but I wouldn't renew him. If he said to us, I want more money, I would say to him, well, what have you done to deserve more money? Because in my opinion, I love Vlahovic. He is our biggest goal threat, of course. I mean, there's not many people competing at him, and he's the main striker. I expect him to be the biggest goal threat after all the money we spent on him. But would you say he deserves a pay rise on the way he's playing? I'd probably say no. But at the same time, I wouldn't give him less money. I would probably say, look, Dusan, I'll renew you on the same conditions. And I think that's very fair for him. And then if he was to say...
12 million.
Yeah. I wouldn't, because guys, look, I'm going to be so honest with all of you, right? You sell Vlahovic, we're in the same cycle. We're going to lose money on him compared to how much we bought him. Who are we going to be able to bring in that is better than Vlahovic on the market? You got Osimhen, who I would take at Juventus, of course. However, would Thingy De Laurentiis sell to us out of any team? No, he's going to try and definitely bump us if he does. And he would be a lot of money. Who else is on the market? Alexander Isak from Newcastle, phenomenal player. This season, obviously better than Vlahovic, but he's going to cost double that, and he could go anywhere in the world. Jonathan David is on a free, but I don't think he's better than Vlahovic personally. Someone said Retegui in the chat. Guys, I promise you, there is a thing called Gasperini tax. I promise you there's a thing called Gasperini tax that exists. Retegui is not better than Vlahovic. If Retegui came to Juventus, he would not score as many goals as he's scoring at Atalanta. I promise you. It's a completely different ball game playing at Juventus compared to Atalanta. I promise you.
And what if Kolo Muani was already the replacement of Dusan?
I would be very upset with the mindset, Giuseppe, that we're replacing Vlahovic.
And you go for another type of player on top in the summer.
No. I wouldn't like
a Zirkzee, can be
no. Well, I wouldn't be a fan of that, Giuseppe. I have to be honest with you, man. I have to be honest with you. Kolo Muani, look, he had a really good season for Frankfurt where he got 40 goal contributions in the league. But Kolo Muani, yeah.
He was fantastic.
Yeah, I know. But Kolo Muani is not the superstar striker, that goal scorer that we need, like Vlahovic. And look, I'm not saying Vlahovic is the most clinical striker.
Do we need it? If we continue with Motta, do we need it? Because if you're looking at all the teams of Motta in the past, he never really relied on that top striker.
Let me tell you this though, Giuseppe. Let me ask you this, right? I agree that with Motta's Bologna, he had Xerxes. Xerxes is a technical striker who plays with his back to goal, who interlinks, who's involved in the build-up play. I get that. He scored what? How many goals in Serie A did he score last year? 12, 13, 14?
12,
yeah, something like that. Nothing too crazy. Let me tell you about this. Pep Guardiola at the start of his time at Barcelona had Lionel Messi in the false nine, who is the greatest footballer of all time. I'm not comparing him to Joshua Zirkzee, but he was a player that was involved in build-up play, played with his back to goal, but he was also an ultimate goal scorer. There's not a false nine in the world that can do what Messi did back then. Joshua Zirkzee isn't even a fraction of that. However, my point is that Pep Guardiola changed when he went to Bayern Munich. He had Lewandowski, and I'm not comparing Lewandowski to Vlahovic again, but he was a pure number 9. He didn't play with his back to goal. He didn't get involved in build-up play. And then when he moved to Manchester City, he had Kun Aguero. Then obviously he tried to play with that false 9 in the Champions League final in 2021 with Foden there, with De Bruyne there. It didn't really work out. They lost the final. Then he decided, you know what, I'm going to go back to the out-and-out strike with Erling Haaland. So what I'm trying to say is that managers adapt. Managers adapt depending on the team that they have.
Of course.
And the elite level coaches, if Motta wants to be one of the best managers in the world, I think he needs to be able to work with the kind of players he has. And I would try and say we need to try and point on Vlahovic, maybe utilize his assets a little bit more, because I think there's a player in there. I do. I think if Vlahovic was to leave us and go to Arsenal, I'm pretty confident he'd score a good amount of goals in the Premier League, because I think Vlahovic is a good player. Is he the most well-rounded striker like a Luis Suarez? Of course not. But I do not think Kolo Muani is on that level.
I agree and understand everything you said. I think that you said one thing super interesting that is one of the claims of here on the channel. People know it is a manager, a good manager, adapts to what he has. That was one of the things why I was, for example, a big fan of Max Allegri style of managing, because he doesn't know which system he will play at the beginning of the season. Can be a 3-5-2, can be a 4-2-3-1. He played all of them. Of course, it depends a lot of the players that you have and the quality also. But I agree on that. On the other side, when you're saying 12 million euro is what Juventus should give, actually the same condition, maybe even proposing, offering a bit less. The problem is that that contract has been offered before -15, before new management. And at today, if we are looking at Dusan Vlahovic's performances in, out, control of ball, all what he offered this season and also the season before, according to me, not only he doesn't deserve to be the most paid player in Serie A, according to me, for what he showed. In perspective, why not? I believe in the player, but at today, it's probably too much 12. And then it's totally out of parameters for this actual Juve in terms of salary. And if you're Dusan and you didn't show up at the expectations yet, because today, after 3 years, I believe it will be 25th in a few days, so 3 complete years of Dusan, I don't think that we can say, if we are really compared that 12 million euro, that he lived up to his expectations. I don't believe that personally. I would love to continue with him, but you have a reality check from Juve that is saying, we cannot anymore afford that money to you. We want to continue with you, but probably lowering. So come a bit towards us. And also because we were probably expecting a bit more into your development at this stage, which didn't happen. fighting with the chat, showing signs of being nervous. If you miss in the beginning of the game, you're totally completely out of the game. You're not happy when you're going out of, all these kind of story that we followed and we commented, and you commented probably more than me in the last few seasons. First it was because the system of Allegri, then it's because of Thiago Motta. That's a lot of money. So Juventus would love to continue, but don't you believe that also for Dusan saying, okay, I need also reality check if I want to stay? Then nobody obliged him to sign for 12 million euro. So it's Juventus' fault to offer that money, and now you are doing towards the consequence. You are living the consequence of what you offer to the player. So it's totally the right of Dusan to say, no, I don't want to go towards 7 million. But according to me, a reality check would be important for both of Juve and Dusan. Juve did, Dusan Vlahovic not yet. Now the big question that I saw from Julian earlier, Julian Dos Santos in the chat, he said, Beppe and Luca, if we sell Dusan and Cambiaso, the project is over. That word project is a huge, big one. I think that there are two projects, the one that is a sporting project and then the financial project. I want to ask, without giving my opinion first, to the chat to tell me at today for Juventus, which is the priority project? Is it the financial one or the sporting one? Tell me. Then we can discuss with Luca. Is it right? Is it not right? How or not? But I think that this will explain a lot about the situation of today. And I see the people are starting. Not according to you guys, pay attention. According to Juve in this particular moment. Kolo is saying sporting project only comes if Juve are financially stable. I see a lot of people with sporting, always sporting. I see a lot of people sporting. Look, I will give you immediately what I believe. And I think not only what Beppe believes, but I think it has been communicated extremely clear. The priority is the financial project. There is a financial project, which is we need ASAP, ASAP, to come back being break even with our books as soon as possible. Target deadline is 26-27, but faster we are break even, much more important it is. That doesn't mean that we don't want to be competitive, but the high glories and investment and keeping players at all costs, etc., which Juve never did in the past, by the way, will come after that financial break even. We keep the sporting project in trying to be competitive, which means entering the Champions League every single year, but first financial as soon as possible, and then sporting. I know that it's not nice to hear, but this is the reality. Am I wrong, Luca, in how I interpret things and translate the words of Juve when they are speaking?
No, I don't think you are, Giuseppe. I think, look, man, I think the financial sides of a football club, I don't know the ins and outs of. Of course, the guys that do the books and stuff know way more about me. I know there's way more that goes to running a football club, especially the size of Juventus, than I or any fan in general can imagine. But I always think, for me personally, of course, as a fan, I want to see success on the pitch. I don't care about the books being balanced. Yeah. I don't care. Of course, you don't care. No one in the chat cares. We want to lift trophies. We want to play good football. We want to win games, of course. But it frustrates me seeing teams like Real Madrid. They just buy. They don't make big sales. They never have problems with the books. You know, teams like that. Why are they fine? Why can't they buy all the superstars in the world, but they never have to sell? Ooh. And then Real Madrid, for example, they don't sell much. But then they're always good with the books, you know. Barcelona, they look screwed financially. They buy players every summer.
You have a huge difference with the two big clubs of Spain. The two big clubs of Spain are supported by banks, are supported by the league.
But then why doesn't Elkan has loads of money, no? Giuseppe, we're one of the richest. Well,
he given already 900 million euro.
Yeah, so why
he already invested 900 million euros? So it's not that he doesn't care. But Juventus, if you're looking at the history of Juve has always been, even in the glory days, a self-sustainable club, which means you do business with what you sell, what you buy, and with the revenues that you are able to do. because you said Beppe, but how is it possible that ultimately since Pogba we're not able to keep players? Actually, Juve never kept players, never. Zidane is the prime example, but there are so many much more players. Juventus never kept any player. All the players at Juventus are to be sold. The difference with the past was that you were that strong, that solid, that before selling the player, you already had his replacement. And probably that replacement would have been even stronger than the one that you were selling.
But
Or you
that's
bought
also,
like 3 players
but that's
instead of
also
one.
because of who we had, Giuseppe. We had Moggi, a real Don, a
I
real
mean, it's
guy
not
that
only
was.
Moggi, but in
Like,
the history of Juve,
yeah, of course. But
Juve has always been like that.
Moggi, those guys, we were running everything. Those were the proper good days, I know.
Yeah, but don't forget that in the past, and that's what I'm telling you, Serie A was the pinnacle, was the top.
Of
So
course.
you knew that you would have found that you had a bit more easy to take some players, which today you don't. And that's why if today you decide to sell Cambiaso for 80 million euro, I hope and I pray that Cristiano Giuntoli is smart enough to say we already have 1 or 2 players for Cambiaso, that we already sealed the deal. Because otherwise, you know how it will finish. You will ask for a Dorgu, and they will ask you how much was the price? 25? They will ask you 50 million euro for Dorgu because they know that you cashed in.
Course.
So I hope.
But is he as good as someone like a Moggi then, Giuseppe? You know what I mean?
Cristiano Giuntoli.
Yeah.
No, he needs to show himself.
Exactly.
Moggi is easy. Today we judge the career of Moggi. Probably in the 2 first year of Moggi, people will say, who's that guy? What is he doing? Of course, he did well with Napoli. He already had, a beautiful history. But, today, Giuntoli needs time to prove himself, and he's taking a lot of risks.
But in my opinion, this might be an unpopular opinion, Giuseppe, but I think as of now, Giuntoli is not.
And answer first that question to Marco, yes or no?
Okay. Would you sell Dusan plus? No way, man. I would keep Cambiaso over getting Osimhen.
Yeah, but
so no.
No?
No. I love Cambiaso too much.
Nobody, for Cambiaso.
Would you? No, look. You give me Kylian Mbappe for Cambiaso, I'll tell Cambiaso, I'll carry him to Madrid, isn't it?
You know that I'm not even sure that Osimhen can play for Juve now in January.
What do you mean?
Because he's an extracomunitario and he's not playing in Italy. He's playing in Turkey.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not sure because that's really technical, because technically he's still a player from Napoli. So if he's still from Napoli, because inside of Italy you can move extracomunitario players, so non-EU players. So it's really technical. I need to inform myself about that. I have always a golden rule. Does the player want to stay? Can we keep him? If all these boxes are okay, then I would love to keep him. If the answers are no, go. Osimhen is a top player.
Yeah, of course. There's no denying Osimhen's talent. I mentioned him earlier as a potential replacement to if we were to sell Vlahovic, and I think Osimhen is definitely a player that would come to Juventus, specifically the way Napoli treated him and how everything went there. There's no denying that. I think Osimhen, I could see him in black and white. But I do, like I said, Cambiaso is just so important to me. And then I just want to touch on the thing you said before, Giuseppe, about the sporting project and the financial project.
Yeah, because it's not over indeed.
Yeah,
go.
Of course, that the financial project is so important, right? But I just think that on the pitch, if we were to sell these key players, I can't really see us building a dangerous team or something that's sustainable for the future. If we were to lose Vlahovic, Cambiaso, if Kenan Yildiz, there were question marks around him in the summer. I can't see where we're going. I have to be honest with you. I can't see where we're going, because even Arsenal, for example, Arsenal's financials are different, of course. I'm not comparing them to Juventus, but on the pitch with Arteta, it's all a project. When he came in, the team was in disarray. He built up players like Saka to the level that they're at now. Of course, he gave William Saliba that chance. Gabriel's improved massively. There's so many key players to this Arsenal team now that are worth so much money. And tomorrow, Arsenal could sell Saka if they wanted for 100 million. Tomorrow they could sell Saliba, Gabriel, all these players. But it's about building a team that can win on the pitch as well. And of course, financials are important.
But you have no financial problems.
But then I'd say we're going nowhere, Giuseppe. If we were to lose Yildiz, Cambiaso, Vlahovic, I will have no hope.
I know it's not nice to hear, and pay attention. I don't agree with when I'm explaining. Doesn't mean that I agree or I don't agree. But I tell you how it is today. Today, Serie A has not, in terms of broadcasting revenues, enough. So you need to have revenues. to have revenues. If your broadcasting entries are not enough, you need to find it somewhere, which means selling players with plusvalenza. We had a massive hit. People, they forget, because looks like it's an eternity that we didn't play Champions League, that we lost. We lost in total probably 150, 160 million euro, not only from the Champions League, but all the impact that it had on Juve. Like, honestly, if I do a post game or a watch along here on the channel when we play every, like, 2 games every week, or I do once, there is a massive change of revenue for the club. It's in millions that we are speaking, not about €5 for a game. You know, it's a huge, big difference. So we had a big slap. And today, if you're looking at Ferrero, Scannavino, Calvo, these people, they don't come necessarily out of the football world. They come from a lawyer's world, from a financial world, because their priority from Elkan is, okay, I pumped in 900 million to keep Juventus floating, put the team again in break-even. That doesn't mean that you cannot be sporting-wise competitive. But you need, at a certain moment, to be break-even. We cannot lose 200, 300 million euro every year. This is not possible. From the moment that you are break-even, we can take, again, some risk. We can, again, do that. Now, this is a purely strategic thing that has been explained clearly by the club, that people do not like, because it's not funny to hear. But that when you see what is happening on the transfer market, etc., this is the consequence. If you're looking at a lot of players left, like Adrien Rabiot, Alexandro, this, Szczesny, for example, some people, they do not really understand. These players, like Koopmeiners and Douglas Luiz, for example, that Kolo is writing, they came, but compare the salaries. It was really clear. Lowering the salary. People are doing, but we spent 200 million euro. It's not true. We didn't spend, like Primo Calcio is saying, 250 million. That's not what we spent. We spent 160, first of all, so that's a big, huge difference. And don't forget that we have sold for nearly the same. We were nearly break-even in selling, buying, but also lowering the salary mass. This is what they are doing. So if you really want to understand what Juventus is doing, that doesn't mean agreeing, but understanding. And when I'm telling you that today at Juventus, finance is over sporting project, this is true. Sporting project that is, at the moment, keep going into the Champions League. Of course, if you have the opportunity to win, you go and you win, like the Coppa Italia did last season, maybe a Scudetto if you are in the possibility to win it. And when you do, and maybe fast enough, and for example, today, selling and having a profit on Dusan and having a profit on Andrea Cambiaso could possibly accelerate that break-even in finance to go faster in where you want to go. Now, there is only one thing that is making people happy or not, is, are you winning or not? And at the moment, Juventus is not losing, is not winning. We are drawing, which is another problem. Luca, if you want to, let's answer 2 questions from the chat, because I received super chats here, and thank you for the likes are still not okay, but let me answer these 2 questions, and then we can go towards Thiago Motta, the
I was
new
just
player.
gonna, after we answer questions, can I just add something onto what you said before? We'll do the super chats first, of course, and then we'll move
Let's go. Juventini is saying, thank you for the donation, Juventini. Whenever we get lots of cash of sell, we don't use it wisely, because we replace them from the league and we overpay them. The only way I would accept Cambiaso to be sold is if we take Gyökeres and Inacio. Juventini, I would love Gyökeres, but it's impossible. Did you hear any voice about Gyökeres? No, because it's impossible. You want to give a word on Juventini? That I understand that, but
yeah, I agree with his first statement there. We don't use the money wisely. I think we've definitely bought the wrong players in recent years, sold some of the wrong players. So I think there's definitely a sporting issue, which is something I wanted to add on to what you said earlier, Giuseppe, about the board members. In terms of Gyökeres, he is obviously his numbers are insane in Portugal. Would he replicate in a league like Serie A? Obviously, it's hypotheticals. I think he's a great player, and he's done it in the Champions League as well, and on an international stage with Sweden. But like you said, he could go to any team in the world. He's not going to come to Juventus. We don't have the financials to even afford that. So, that's unlikely.
The second one is from Roberto Gallo. Grande, grazie Roberto. You are too Juventus legend. No, we are all the people here, except for the people that are not putting a like, because that will start to piss me off. And help every Juve fan's mental health for many years. Luca, when are we going to watch Juve together? Fino alla
Grande
fine.
Gallo. Grande Gallo, Grande Gallo. Yeah. Legend. Roberto's a good guy, very nice guy. We didn't catch each other at the Villa game, unfortunately, but hopefully soon, Gallo. Hopefully soon.
That was another draw. Huh?
I know. Thanks for reminding me, Giuseppe. I saw it, man.
Tell me about what you want to. But I agree, Luca, that selling players, not keeping an Andrea Cambiaso. To me, people they will get me wrong. To me, Andrea Cambiaso, I will go in front of the Continassa and I will chain myself and saying, "Don't sell him, attention," because then people they will say, "Beppe, no, I'm not defending the club. I'm explaining the vision of the club." Does that mean that I agree? No, because I want to win. I want to be the biggest club of the world. I want to take that Scudetto and put it again in the air. I want to have a return on investment of a shirt that is 6 weeks old. It's not possible at a certain moment, So, according to me, don't sell Cambiaso. But
the problem is, Giuseppe, right? Our big issue, in my opinion, with the Juventus board is, like you said earlier, these guys are lawyers. These guys are good with numbers. They're good at maths. They're smart people, which is good. You need these kind of guys on the board. But there's no one there that understands about football to the extent of Nedvedev, Paratici, Marotta, when we had these kind of guys. If I'm a player, right, let's just say for argument's sake, I'm a player, you want to sign me. I go, I shake everyone's hand. I see Giuntoli, I see Scanavino, I see all these guys. Then you put me in the same room and I see Nedved, or I see Marotta, or Buffon, or Chiellini, or someone that is a Juventus legend, or someone that knows about football, someone that can convince me to join the club. Who am I going to join? I'm going to talk to Giuntoli. Giuntoli's not going to convince me, a footballer, to join Juventus as much as someone like Buffon or Del Piero. So in my opinion, we need Juventini. No, come on, Giuseppe. If you're a footballer and you're going to talk to Juventus, who would you rather talk to? Buffon about the club? Who's going to convince you more, Buffon or Giuntoli? Come on, guys. Come on. Let's not.
Wait. No. Here, I don't agree, because here we are speaking about like fans. I don't really necessarily agree on that, because
no, it is. Because footballers think like that. Yeah,
of course. No, if you're telling me, look, if you're telling me Buffon comes here, if Buffon comes and he said, "Beppe, come to my house and you are cleaning the toilets," I will be honored to clean the toilets of Buffon, because it's Buffon. You know what I mean? Of course, because you're taking me with the emotions.
We need Juventini on the board as well, Giuseppe. We need guys that know to be at the club. That's in my opinion. That's so important.
I don't agree. You need a mix, because I've seen a lot of fantastic players, phenomenal players that are really bad. That are really bad in management, because it's not. I will not mention names, but I met a lot of football players that are stupid. Because it's not because you are a fantastic player that you are an intelligent person.
No, I'm not saying.
If you tell me Buffon, it's another case. Buffon is doing a journey to arrive one day, maybe in a presidency of a club like Juve, could be, and like Chiellini is doing now. We already brought Chiellini, for example.
Yeah, I know, but his is a different role. What I'm saying, Giuseppe, I agree with you. I'm not saying
we know that Chiellini will be the president in 18 months, 2 years.
But that's what we need. For me, I agree with you. We need a balance. I'm not saying get rid of all of these guys, only put ex-Juventus players. Of course not. But I'm saying it is so important to have Juventini on this board. Guys that are legends, guys that can attract footballers. You understand what I'm trying to say? In my opinion, that's key. Because I think, in my opinion, since Agnelli's gone, we have lost.
Where did Moggi play? Where did Moggi play?
For example.
But when you're telling me Cristiano Giuntoli, then I agree with you. And when you're saying we need an Nedved, I agree.
Of course, but Moggi delivered results. So far, Giuntoli's not delivered results for us. You understand? So I agree. For me, Giuntoli, I'll be so honest with you. I think he's under a lot of pressure, because this guy spent a lot of money and he has not delivered. Now we're talking about selling Cambiaso for 60 million. We bought Koopmeiners for 60 million.
I don't agree. You know what is the pressure of Giuntoli doing his job with actually one big goal, is to be financially stable. Because if you're looking one by one, Cristiano Giuntoli didn't spend a lot. He didn't spend a lot on the market. If you're doing the plus and minus, of course. If you're looking at the difference in the salary mass, etc., profit that you gain, if you're financially looking, there is one mission that is working on. And that mission is being financially stable as soon as possible. This is what Giuntoli is doing now, and this is unfortunately what is penalizing Giuntoli at the moment, because he's not free to do whatever he wants to do. Like, for example, when he was at Napoli, that Napoli is a financially stable team.
They're also two different. Of course, it's different scenarios. I agree. I completely understand that, Giuseppe.
Then, I'm not satisfied with Giuntoli.
Decisions?
I'm not happy with Giuntoli. Why? Because the first year he couldn't move, but now if you decide to change the entire team, then you take responsibility for it. You know what I mean? I'm not happy with Giuntoli. You decide to. Nobody asks you to change the entire team. You do, okay.
But it's also, I'm looking at from like player selection perspective as well, Giuseppe, in the summer window. For example, Nico Gonzalez, not a bad player by any means. I'm not saying he's a bad footballer, but the money we spent, we know he's chronically injured. That's one thing. Then we look at Koop Miners. We got him a couple of days before the season even. The season already started when we got him. You know, we let Atalanta pull our pants down. We spent a lot on him as well. I always go back to selling Huijsen, because at the time I said it was a big mistake for 15 million, and obviously to this day we know it's a big mistake. But I never understood that, especially because he fit Motta's system perfectly. Ball playing centre back, can play right back, can play centre back, technical player. Why do we do that? I don't know. You know. So for me, these sort of managerial decisions, of course, clubs make mistakes. Of course, I'm not saying no club is perfectly ran, but this is what for me puts him under big pressure. And I think right now, this summer, if we don't get Champions League football, Giuseppe, what are we gonna do, man? He didn't ask to be sold, but I spoke to the player. Okay, I spoke to him.
The player. He said "fuck off" to Frosinone when they had an agreement to go to play with Mourinho.
He didn't want to leave. He didn't want to leave Juventus. Huijsen did not want to leave Juventus. I spoke to the guy. He didn't want to leave.
Of course, he didn't want to leave Juventus if he could have played.
Yeah, exactly. But my point is, he should have played. This is what I don't understand. I don't understand.
Yeah, but when you have Bremer, that is totally fit. You have a Gatti. You cannot promise to a kid of 19, even if you know that he will break through, because I have always believed in Huijsen since Primavera, since he was 15 actually. I knew that would be 17. I knew he would be a fantastic phenomenon, and he will be much better than De Ligt.
He's better than Gatti.
If it's not already.
He's better than Gatti.
Oh yeah. But you cannot promise. You cannot, in a management way. You cannot say to a kid of 19, you will be the undiscussed starter.
But why not? If he's good enough, Giuseppe, he's good enough.
You cannot tell him that, because Huijsen, you saw what happens with the national team of the Netherlands, with the national team of Spain. You saw what happened with Frosinone. Roma is a kid that is extremely ambitious, which is good. But if you promise to a 19-year-old kid that he will be a starter, you are sure that if something happens, if he's not delivering, if he's receiving the criticism that he received when it was at Roma, because at Roma, he messed up. He didn't play well at Roma. Let's be honest. The 6 months of Roma has been really bad for him, except for one fantastic goal. But he would have made mistakes, Luca. If you promise to a kid, you will be the starter of Juve today, in 1 year, he's gone to another club. That's the reality.
Yeah, but
you cannot, even if I wanted to.
We're talking hypotheticals here. Obviously, he could have come in for the very first game and been the best player every single game. That could be a scenario. Or he could have flopped under pressure. But what I'm saying is, Giuseppe, if a man's good enough at football, he's good enough at football. Look at Kenan Yildiz. The guy's younger than me. He's good enough.
But Yamal.
That's what I'm saying. So if Huijsen suits Motta's football perfectly. So now we're talking about, obviously we bought in Kalulu who suits his football, which is fine. Now we're talking about, which ball-playing technical centre-backs or full-backs can we get? We signed this guy, this Portuguese lad, for 3 million less than we sold Huijsen. That is, and I haven't seen him play football. This is what I'm saying. These are stupid mistakes. And now Huijsen's worth about 40 to 50 million, playing in the best league in the world, performing amazingly. So
we knew it. We knew it that it would.
So why do we sell it? This is what I'm saying. These are stupid mistakes.
What I'm pissed off with Giuntoli is the fact that you sell him for how much? Do we sell him 13?
You sold him 15 million euros. You know how stupid.
This is a huge big mistake. I would have told him, look, we cannot promise you a starting role, because at Juve nobody received a starting role. Even Alessandro Del Piero in 2005, 2006 was not promised a starting role. So if you want to be a starter, No, deliver every single day, and then you deserve to be a starter. That's also the philosophy of Thiago Motta, for example.
Of course.
The father of Huijsen is pushing, he's pushing. Now, you want to leave? Because we cannot promise you, good. Bring us a team that is bringing you 40 million euro. Otherwise, you stay here. You know what I mean?
No, I
That's
get what
what
you're
he should
saying.
have
That
done.
at a club like Juventus, no spot is guaranteed because it's a huge club. We need to win. I 100% understand that. But at the same time, from what I've understood from him, he wanted to stay. They wanted to sell him. More so that's what I've understood from the
But
footballer.
I know. Also because and pay attention. You know, in football, you need to pay attention as well at the decision that you are taking. I said it the day that he decided to go to Roma because he has been charmed by Mourinho. That's the day that he said goodbye to Juve. Not in the summer. That's the day that he said goodbye to Juve.
Maybe, but at the same time, I just if you see it like that, but in my opinion, that was the day where I saw Mourinho, the greatest defensive manager in the history of the game, saw this lad, wanted this lad at Roma. What does that mean? That means we got a gem.
We
on
knew
our
that he
hands
was
for the
good.
future. But
If
no,
you go back,
we gift him to Bournemouth for peanuts.
Go back in my shorts. In the beginning that I started to do some shorts, there will be the clip of Huijsen when he was with the Primavera, not with the next gen. Fantastic goal. And I said, this guy will be a phenomenal. I knew it. Juve knew it. It's not Beppe that knew it. We all knew it. The problem is then you have also to see the behind the scenes. Now, let me read a few comments, and then I need to ask you an important thing, because last time you told me, Beppe, I have 1 hour. We stayed 1 hour 15. How long do you still stay with us?
Don't worry about the time. We keep going, Beppe. It's okay. We'll keep going until I pass out, man.
Oh, guys, I don't know if you noticed, but last time, Luca, he was kind with me. The smile. It was a nice talk. Today, fight.
No, do you know why? It's good to have these sort of
I
discussions,
like.
Beppe, because if we agree on everything, it's a bit boring. It's always good to talk. And I know you also raise points just to talk about them. I know sometimes, like you were saying earlier about the financial thing, you don't necessarily agree with selling Cambiaso, but they're talking points.
I don't want
these conversations.
to be
exactly.
clear. No.
And
you know what I love to do here on the channel, Luca? Some people, they don't understand that is I give my opinion, but on the other side, I also need to explain, because otherwise, if we just give opinions and you don't give the explanation, then
it's useless. It's useless, you know.
But then an explanation doesn't mean that you need to agree. If they sell a Cambiaso tomorrow, I will be pissed off.
Yeah, of course,
If
man.
They sell Dusan, I'm okay. Let me read a few comments here because people are doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, let's talk.
Wait, Arif, 38 months with us. Grazie, Arif. I miss the days when we were only fans. Now we have to be accountants, marketeers, lawyers. It's totally correct. It's true. You know, here we have degrees of everything. It's true. It's correct. Grande, Arif. How much did you grow? Question on that. How much did you grow on all these topics since that you're starting to speak about Juve?
Me?
Yeah. It's educational, no? Following Juve.
In terms of learning about everything, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Outalek to us, 25 months. Thank you, my friend. He's saying business-wise, anyone can be sold plus 80. On that one, I agree. If they bring me 80 million euro, I agree. Guys, even no, not me. I will not be sold. But all the other people except of Beppe, they can be sold. I agree. Chef with an X. Thank you for the donation, my friend. It's still early or too early to grade Giuntoli. Don't forget that it took 2 full seasons for Beppe Marotta to get things going. Which is not wrong. Beppe on OnlyFans. I might do that. Guys, maybe feet pictures could be. Would you subscribe to my OF?
No, Giuseppe, no. I'm not getting clipped up. I'm not saying that. No. I wouldn't.
Thank you for the comment of Chef. We have Devoya. Thank you for the donation, my friend. Devoya is saying, by the way, the first time. Let's celebrate the 5th super. It's the 5th one. Let's celebrate it. I don't know why. Selling many defensive players and then complaining about shortage is infuriating, especially now with Danilo, maybe Cambiaso, and having no replacement. I think it's a fantastic assist because we spoke about Cambiaso, Vlahovic, and the management. We didn't speak about the possible replacement defenders. So that's a really beautiful assist. You know what, Luca? I will leave you alone here. You're the master of the channel for 2 minutes. I go to the bathroom. and you can speak about the topic that you choose. When I come back, we speak about the possible replacement in defense. What do you think about that one?
But you want me to? I don't know how to pull up a comment though. You just want me to talk
You
about
can
anything?
read them. You see them, no?
Yeah, I see them. Okay. I'll lead the way.
Okay, let me go away for a minute, up like this, and I come back. 2 minutes.
Guys, I guess I'm Giuseppe today. All right, spam some questions real quick. Let me answer some rapid fire questions for you boys. Ciao, Lucas. Any chance?
Don't mess up my channel, Luca.
Hey, don't worry, Giuseppe, man. I'm not gonna get you cancelled. Don't worry. Any chance Miretti comes back? Of course, I'm gonna come back. Don't worry about that, man. Bepp's got hair. No, he doesn't. Can we call ourselves a big club if we don't keep our players? Guys, we're not. You can't call yourself the biggest club in the world. No. Opinion on Koopman is he's not been good enough this season, man. He needs to sit on the bench for a bit. Parli italiano? Sì, lo parlo, bro. You still believe in Miretti? Of course, man. Listen, guys, Miretti last season was better than Koopman this season. Used to watch you since Twitch. All right, guys, we're returning with the live streams on the game. What live watch-alongs on YouTube this Saturday? Be there for Milan. I'm going to promote it on TikTok. Don't worry, boys. We're going to be back with that. How much would you have prior Huijsen in our defensive? How much would he be worth? Or how much would you have prior? I don't understand the question, bro. But he'd be worth like 60 million, I promise you. Do I think we'll make top 4? Playing like this? No, bro. 10K less followers. Guys, I'm going to rise Giuseppe's channel. Get John Duran. Yeah, he's a good player, but is he can we even get him? That's the question. Luca, this guy's spelling it with a double. Boys, Luca with 1 C. I'm not the town, the city in Italy. Who do you think would be a replacement for Vlahovic? I don't think we can realistically get one, in the sense that I only think Osimhen's available. Like, who can we get? We can't get Isak. We can't get one of the top strikers in the world. So maybe only Osimhen. The OnlyFans comment caught me out, though. I thought my man was talking about we needed to start an OnlyFans to make some money. That one caught me out. Yeah, I would play Douglas Luiz more. Oh, Giuseppe can hear me. Giuseppe, you're the greatest human being in the world. Yeah, I would play Douglas Luiz more for sure. What do you think about Douglas Luiz? I would keep him, of course. We just got the guy. He deserves time for sure. Bepe's growing back his hair. Bepe, is that true? These are what the rumors are saying. You have your own channel? Yeah, I'm going to promote my YouTube on my TikTok soon, boys. Don't worry about that. It's JFTV Luca. For Ciao Juve, of course, Michael, of course. Oh, Giuseppe, don't worry. I took care of the account.
Yeah, I hear you're doing self-promotion, which I only,
I said, I only called you the greatest human being ever.
I heard. Well. I heard. How was it to manage the chat for 2 minutes?
No, it was good, but I've been live before on my channel, so of course I'm used to reading chat.
Guys, follow JFTV on all social platforms. Luca, how can they find you on Instagram? Because there is not JFTV, yeah?
Luca dall'Olio. It's just my full name, or it's linked on my TikTok profile. You'll see the little Instagram icon on my TikTok handle. You can go check out there. And we're going to start with the YouTube videos as well, some longer form videos, bring back the live streams for the games, the watch-alongs and stuff. So that's why I bought the camera. Camera didn't want to work on me today with the audio. Going to sort that out, though. Don't worry, boys.
Fantastic. Luca, what about the Juventus game style? How about the game against Atalanta, the one of Milan? Are you worried about how we play or not? Because I remember that we were quite confident about our way of playing 6 weeks ago, more or less, even if there were improvements that we were asking. But since then, I believe only draws eliminated. I was in Saudi Arabia, by the way.
I think we only won against Monza, man. I think that's it.
Monza.
I think Monza's the only game we've won.
Yeah. The beginning of December, it was Torino that we won, or no?
Torino, yeah. Did we talk before the derby or?
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Torino, then draw. We won against Monza and Manchester City.
Yeah, that was obviously great.
Yeah. And then we drew all the games, eliminated in Supercoppa against Milan. So
yeah, of course, not nice. Yeah. To be honest, Giuseppe, I'm like all of every single other Juventus fan in the world, very frustrated with these performances and these results. There's no two ways about it. Yeah, it's not been great, man. We struggle to create chances. We move the ball very slowly. Defensively, we look so frail. We concede a bunch of different chances. And, against Atalanta, for example, I actually thought we improved. I actually thought we were a lot better than we were in the previous draws. We had enough chances to see off the game. There were a couple of times, obviously the Kenan one where he probably should have sweated it to Mbangula. But, his head was down. He saw the goal. Like, I'm not going to take it out on him. He's a top player. He could score from that angle very easily. Then there were a couple balls over the top towards Koopmeiners, who's just, that's not his position. He's not quick enough to get him behind. You don't want Koopmeiners in those positions one-on-one with defenders because he's not quick at all. But defensively,
that one that you are just explaining, I was already imagining Kolo Muani. Kolo Muani would have burned.
Yeah, of course. I think you're faster than Koopmeiners, Giuseppe. I'd put money on you to win the race.
Not me. Don't put too many money then. But a lot of people, yes, that penal.
Do you know what I mean? Koopmeiners 1-on-1. I know how it's going to end. The defender's going to catch the guy.
He's slow. He was really slow.
Of course. But also on Koopmeiners, like
I was doing the watch and I was pushing him literally like go.
We need to push the guy, man. Flip out because this guy, I think.
Give me a rating for Koopmeiners so far this season.
It's best I don't say. It's best. We need to lie on this one. No, honestly, man. Honestly, quite comfortably below 5, bro. I'll be so real.
Was he better in Atalanta or still?
Giuseppe, that's like asking me. Is it Pogba better at Juventus or is Pogba better?
No. Was he better against Atalanta in the last game? Was it already a better performance? Of course, he was better in Atalanta.
I was gonna say, what kind of a question are you asking me, man? Yeah, I mean, he was a bit better against Atalanta, but he's been underwhelming this season. I'm not going to lie to you, Giuseppe. I think Miretti last season was better than Koopmeiners this season because I think he can't play in that 10 role. And one thing I'll criticize Motta with, of course, he has to back his players. But for me, also, we haven't spoken about this, but Koopmeiners captain. Oh, my God, Giuseppe, what's all that about?
I saw it coming, because it was already a few games that he was vice captain. I knew it.
That was scandalous, though. Come on, Giuseppe. That one, I didn't know how to rationalize that decision there. The guy has been at the club for 6 months. Of course, I understand. You want to give him confidence. You want to do this, but give him captain after not even 6 months at a club like Juventus when you have Gatti on the pitch, Patatino McKennie on the pitch that's been at the club a lot longer than him. That shows fight desire.
I had one request. When Danilo was out of the team, I had one request, and I said it will not happen. But I have one request. I wanted the first press conference of Thiago to go in front of microphone and saying, from today, the captain of the team is this player.
Yeah, of course. You need to decide.
Whoever, I don't care. But I wanted one fixed player. That game of we turn the captain band, you know what it means? You know what it means?
It means there's no leader.
The leader is nobody. Voilà.
No leader. How can you have no leader at Juventus? You know what I mean? So for me, Giuseppe, that was a very poor managerial decision there from Thiago Motta. And look, I'll be honest. I understand we spent a lot of money on Koopmeiners, but playing the way he is right now, I do think he needs some time on the bench, really. Because for me, playing like that, Giuseppe, if that was Miretti, they would be going in on the guy. If that was Milik, or it is Vlahovic as well, they're going in on him. And obviously, there are some fans that are very critical of Koopmeiners this season. Of course. I've seen the comments and stuff. I've seen the tweets. But I don't understand how we can be so persistent on playing him in that number 10 role when, in my opinion, if you're going to play Koopmeiners, you've got to play him at least 13 yards deeper in that double pivot. You've got to do that because I personally think the guy his assets aren't in that position. I think he's good driving with the ball. He's got good passing range, but his positional awareness in the half space isn't that of a number 10. I don't think he's got that final killer instinct as well. We've seen that this season. Maybe he's lacking confidence as well. But Giuseppe, for the amount of money we spent in the summer, I did say my number one option was Matt O'Reilly, who would have been half the price of Koopmeiners, and I was a big fan of Matt O'Reilly. And look,
there were for a few days there were some voices of him.
I loved Matt O'Reilly so much, and I would have loved to see him at Juventus, but obviously that's gone now. There's no point talking about that. But yeah, Koopmeiners so far, Giuseppe, for the money we spent this season, if I have to give him a rating, I'll have to say a 3, and that's quite generous. I have to be honest.
No, I agree. Luca, make me your ideal
what's this?
Juve.
Okay,
Wait.
look at this technology, guys. I got we got Elon Musk on stream with us. Look at this
Tell that.
technicality.
Look
Okay,
at that.
so what's this one?
Wait,
This is for the Milan
of course,
game.
I need to take away all the drawings. So let me do like that. Okay. Wait, because I was going crazy the last time with the guys. But wait, let me take away all of this. Voila. Okay. Why didn't it work? Wait.
Oh, you're trying to remove all the players, are you?
Ah, okay. Here we go. So give me your ideal Juve with the players that we have at the moment. Of course, we have no center backs on top, so I need from you the ideal Juve. Who is in the goal?
Okay, so in the
That's also
goal,
another debate.
in the goal, look, if you asked me before Atalanta, I would have said Perin, because I think Di Gregorio had a couple poor performances before that, but against Atalanta, I'm not going to lie, Di Gregorio was very, very good. He actually kept us in that game, and he was one of our best performers. He made some crazy saves. One at the end, especially when Zaniolo chopped Kalulu, and he made a really good save. And but before that, he was very suspect. I do think it's a little bit harsh, in my opinion, that Motta isn't rotating very frequently between the two, because I think Perin is one of the best, if not the best, second choice goalkeeper in the world. He's very, very good, and he's a safe pair of hands. So you could go either, but I think after that Atalanta performance, there's no real need to drop Digre. So I'll leave Digre in goal for the next game, unless he makes a really bad error against AC Milan. I would have dropped him after the Supercoppa, by the way, guys. And I love Perin. I really do love Perin. I really do. But I just think against Atalanta, Digre, he doesn't deserve to get dropped from that performance. He was really good.
Defense, we still continue with 4 because that's another debate. And by the way, thank you to that. And he's saying Cambiaso 65, Vlahovic 60, and we go for Hanchko, Sesko, and Dorgu. That's beautiful. That's a really beautiful structure.
I mean, defense, we don't really have many options, Giuseppe. Obviously, against Milan, he's not going to play.
No, I'm saying not now against Milan, but in general with the players that we have. What is your ideal formation? Where you put Cope? Where you put
But I got do I still have Danilo or no? I don't have
Danilo is gone. Danilo is gone.
So what are my defensive options? I got Kalulu, Kalulu, Gatti, Savona, Cambiaso.
Yeah. At the moment we have Cambiaso, we have Savona, we have McKennie as a left back, we have Rui.
We don't have many.
Who is the starting right back? Let's start with the right back.
I got Savona there, but the guy is suspect as well. We'll talk about in depth in a second. We got Kalulu, Gatti as the centre backs and Cambiaso left back.
Yeah. And Cambiaso left back.
Yeah, I'll do Cambiaso.
Okay, so that's at the moment the ideal defense. So not McKennie.
No. I'm gonna play McKennie, but I'm gonna play him in midfield.
Okay. So who in the midfield? And how do we play? A 4-1-4-1, 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3?
No. We're 4-2-3-1.
Okay.
I got. This is tough, because I have to pick 3 from 4 I have in mind in that 3-man midfield. And I don't like that. I don't like that. What you've made me do here, Giuseppe, because of course it's an interesting question. But now I got to leave out one of my players. I'm trying to think out why.
People they want Alberto Costa already, yeah?
No. I haven't seen the guy. We haven't even seen the guy play for Juventus yet, Giuseppe. I can't put him in just yet. I'm gonna put.
You see, this is probably how Thiago Motta is reacting before
because
game.
Because Thiago Motta puts Koopmeiners straight in the 10, and Koopmeiners for me is the number 10 on the bench, actually, Giuseppe. So I'm not reacting like that. I got Locatelli in the double pivot.
I'm looking for Locatelli, but okay, I get it. Now you have Douglas Luiz, you have Thuram, you have Copa.
Yeah, it's either Kefren or Douglas or Dougie, and I like both. They're different kinds of players.
Yeah,
but I want to see Douglas Luiz play more, so I'm gonna have Dougie in there for now. But I love Kefren, I really do. But I'm gonna have Dougie in there, and then in the 10, look, this is where things are going to get a little bit tactical with me. I'm going to play McKennie more advanced. Yildiz on the right. Yeah, and then Yildiz on the right. Guys, I'm going to explain why. And Bangula on the left.
Oh, Bangula started on the left. So
Yeah,
say
for
how
sure.
that you were selling me as the god on earth, you already took him out.
Yeah, right now he's injured, isn't it, Giuseppe? So he needs to earn his spot back. And then Dusan up front. Where is Vlahovic? We don't have Vlahovic in this. We have him or we don't?
No, I have him. He was injured, so that's why I've put him there.
Let me tell you why I have McKennie in that attack.
So wait. Is this your ideal Juve or the one against Milan?
The one I'd play next game, isn't it?
Okay.
Because look, McKennie, guys, for me, McKennie, this guy can do everything. He's great ball carrier. He's good defensively. He covers ground. He's good in the final third. He can get the odd goal. And McKennie, in my team, McKennie and Yildiz will interchange a lot in this system. So Kenan can drift in as well in the middle if he wants to, or he can play out wide. I really liked, in the Supercoppa, I really liked Kenan on the right and then Bangula on the left. I thought they really complemented each other well. And Kenan Yildiz, of course, he's right-footed, and you can say, oh, but he's better on the left. He could cut in on a shoot on his right. But we've seen him cut in on his left and be very devastating. And he can go on the flank. He's a very unpredictable footballer. Obviously, the goal against Torino came on his left foot off the right. Against Atalanta, he had a good chance where he came in off the right. So I really like Kenan on that right-hand side as well. McKennie, I wouldn't drop. And guys are saying McKennie in the double pivot. I don't think McKennie is a man that can dictate the game in the double pivot. I think his best attributes come from him running, driving with the ball. You know, this guy's taking the piss, isn't it? You are sacked. So thank you for your song. So I would have McKennie in that more advanced role, to be honest.
Okay.
And then Dougie, I really like Douglas Luiz. I think he's a really technical midfielder. I think he's the most technical midfielder we have, and I really want to see him get a shot in this team. I think obviously he's had injury problems as well, granted, but I think he definitely deserves more of a chance there. And then yeah, I mean Vlahovic is our biggest goal threat, so of course he's going to be the striker. I think guys that criticize Douglas Luiz is so unfair, Giuseppe, just because we haven't seen him properly. So for people to criticize him that much after barely seeing him, it's so hard.
I said something about Douglas Luiz. I said I would love to say Douglas Luiz is a flop, but first I need to see him. Because if I don't see him, how can I say that he's a flop if I don't see him? So let him play a few games. And then I will tell you, yes, he's a flop, or no, he's a top player. But there is one thing that I am 100% sure is at the moment, Douglas Luiz is absolutely not a player that you let come in from the bench when the result is still open. Or
no, because he's not.
From the start.
He's not a game. He's not going to come on and score or unlock the game in that sense. He's a dictator of the game. You know, he's a very technical player. He's calm on the ball. He's composed. He dictates the game. That's what he was doing at Aston Villa, and that's why he was so good with it.
I love that. I have been the biggest sponsor of Douglas Luiz. So let me please enjoy Douglas, but from the start. If it is to put him in like 20 minutes when the result is still open, that's not Douglas Luiz moment. At the moment. Then if you're winning 3-0, I have no problem with that. But I would love to win a game, Luca. Please. I would love to win one game.
Of course, same here, man. I mean, people are saying it's not very balanced. I don't know, like, what do you think, Beppe? Because I understand Locatelli and Douglas Luiz obviously are similar profiles. You could have Kefren in there over one of the other two who's more of a box-to-box man, a physical threat. But I do want to see Douglas Luiz get the chance.
Locatelli is actually messing up the plan because nobody was expecting a Locatelli.
No, exactly.
Expecting that.
Could you drop Locatelli? I don't really want to drop him. No, that's why I said him and I removed Kefren. But at the same time, Kefren Turam is a good player. I think probably needs he maybe could improve a little bit consistency-wise. But I don't.
You didn't even put Cope.
No, not in my starting team. No.
Yeah, wait. I will give you
on form, Giuseppe.
I will give you mine.
Yeah, give me your because on form, I just look at Coop miners and I struggle to put him. And then obviously people say, "Oh, well, Douglas Luiz on form. He's never played." Yeah, exactly. He never plays. I want to see the guy play.
I will give you mine. Wait. Where is it? Here we go. I continue with Di Gregorio, of course. But at the moment, that's the defense that we have. Like you, I would love that Alberto Costa breaks through, but I don't want to put him too much pressure. But what I would do at the moment, I would do something like this. And then you tell me. You know that maybe you can go with that new player that is much more offensive. Who knows? Who knows? That could be totally crazy. And then you go with. I didn't give him a number, but they are saying that he will probably take the number 20. But I didn't give him a number yet.
Oh, you're dropping those on.
Yeah. But you see how I put them? I've put them.
Yeah, 4-3-3.
Yeah, because at the moment we are playing more something like this, like 4-4-1-1 kind of, that kind of thing. I would love to see Locatelli more here with a Thuram that has that space, with Koopmeiners here, and Conceição, instead of being that wide, being closer. But it can also be a Nico Gonzalez. I have no problem with that. And a Yildiz also much closer. Then you can even do that. Why not? Yeah. You know what you could do? No. I have another one. I would go with, where is he? Here.
Gonzalez.
On the left, he loves to go there. And he's also defensively much stronger than a Conceição. And Yildiz convinced me really there. Because Kolo Muani will not be here. It's more here.
A little bit deeper, farther away from the goal. I do like I think the midfield there in a 4-3-3 is more balanced than having Coop in the 10 and then having that double pivot Giuseppe. But at the same time, I think Kenan on the right has been amazing recently. I agree on that. But I just think he's so good there. Well, Kenan can play anywhere across the three anyways, but he's that good at football. But I just think McKennie...
I think I won, by the way. People are more convinced by mine.
Yeah, it's on your channel, Giuseppe. We'll do this on my TikTok. No, I'm playing. But listen, I think McKennie is... it's harsh to leave him out, though, Beppe. I have to be honest. The way McKennie's been playing, arguably our best performer. What he offers us.
By the way, probably at the moment he deserves to be there.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he could play anywhere, but his best position obviously is in the midfield.
It's true. We gave him the man of the match here because he was really fantastic. He was
incredible. He was incredible.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this, Beppe. Obviously, you had Coop in your midfield three. Do you not think the way he's been playing, he does deserve to get dropped?
I said it last time
as well.
I said I would love to see Douglas Luiz after the game of Torino, and I would bench Coop. So I would have loved to see Douglas Luiz a bit more there advanced. At the end, he went for McKennie. That worked really well. But if there was one player that I would have taken off was Koopmeiners. Then I understand the investment. I understand that it's difficult, but I would have done it. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you.
Yeah, and then I think it's hard because we got a lot of options, of course. There's a lot of players like Douglas Luiz, for example, based off form. I mean,
wait, because I need to ban Neville because I need to ban him.
Yeah, like Douglas Luiz, based off the form, he's barely played, so he wouldn't really get in that team. But at the same time, I just feel like his talent and he's not shown it enough. Do you know what I mean? I think like Beppe, if he was fully healthy this season, playing consistently, genuinely, like I might be wrong. Maybe Brazilian midfielders since Emerson really just don't work out at Juventus. But I think Douglas Luiz, there is a player in there.
Breaking. Nico Schira that is giving us an update. Juventus asked 75 million to sell Andrea Cambiaso. Manchester City are really interesting and set to offer a contract until 2030, 6 million a year to the right fullback, Nico Schira. I told you, Juve would ask 80. They already lowered 5 million. in like 1 hour, they gave up on 5. I told you.
But like, you know what, man? Do you know what it is? I've seen Paul leave. I've seen Paolo leave. I've seen now Andrea leave. Might see Kenan leave. I'm kind of just prone to it now. I'm used to it. I don't really have any emotions, you know. I'm kind of like I'm heartless, like the Kanye West song, you know. It is what it is.
It is what it is. There was a beautiful comment earlier from Detan that said, no, where was it? It was earlier from Devoya. Devoya that said, what about the replacement? Because at the moment we don't have.
We cannot replace him, like Pep said after.
No, I understand about Cambiaso, but who are the players in defense that you want to have?
Huijsen back. Genuinely.
Huijsen back.
Genuinely, Beppe. I would go there. I would go to Huijsen. Mr. Dean, I'm so sorry about our actions. I'm so sorry.
And what if I told you? What if I told you there is the possibility to bring that guy back home? What would you say?
I would say I prefer Huijsen, Giuseppe. No,
I know, but it's not possible.
You never know. You never know. But I have hope. I have Speranza. No, look, De Ligt. This guy disrespected us, Giuseppe. You understand? He disrespected me. He disrespected you. He disrespected the fan base, in my opinion. So, is De Ligt a bad player? Of course not. But would we accept him with welcome arms? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the fan base will be too happy with that. I think it would be a pretty rogue one. But honestly, in terms of the actual football life, I'm taking away what he said, how he left the club. He's a good defender. Does he suit Motta's football? Hell no. He's not even ball playing. He's not very technical at all, actually, compared to a Dean Huijsen or or like a Calafiori or defenders like this, or like William Saliba or Van Dijk or something. But no, I wouldn't really want De Ligt back.
Araujo
is a very good centre half. A lot of injury problems. I think he missed over 200 days because of that hamstring problem he had. Again, with 50 million, Giuseppe, I'll keep going back. I think we could buy Huijsen back for that money. So I would rather buy Huijsen. No, I'm not joking, guys. I'm not. I promise you. I'll reiterate until I see Huijsen in another team. I'm going to buy Huijsen back for 50 million.
Huijsen.
Giuseppe, when Huijsen signs here, make sure you get me on to discuss it again, yeah? And I'll be celebrating. We'll get the champagne out. Where's all the party poppers?
I always loved Huijsen, but if you sell him for 13 and you bring him back for 50, guys, then you know what we do.
Sometimes, Giuseppe, you hold your hands up.
Take the keys and we close the club and we sell the club to nobody.
Sometimes, Giuseppe, you need to hold your hands up and say, sometimes people make mistakes. Not me and you and the guys, because we wouldn't have sold him. But certain guys made a mistake. They hold their hands up. We'll bring him back.
But it is even impossible. You sold him for 13. You will buy him for 50, guys.
Nothing's impossible, but we could buy. Let me tell you something. Dean Huijsen will leave Bournemouth this summer and go to a big club. So why doesn't it be us? Why can't we be that big club?
We cannot go in. We don't have the money. Anyway.
We have the money, man. Don't worry. We'll find the money. We'll do something. We'll start the OnlyFans like the guy commented, and we'll make the money.
This is not possible.
I
don't even want to. I don't even want to speak about that. So I give you the update about Araujo. Araujo seemed to be a totally no, but at the moment he's not renewing with Barcelona still. So the Juve is still waiting for the official no, 100% no of Araujo.
I thought no, the other day I read. But
in the meanwhile, there is still no contract extension from Araujo. He didn't agree yet with Barcelona, which means that he's still leaving the door open. What I'm scared, personally, that that will take too long waiting for him, and at the end he will stay with Barcelona, and then Juventus will have problems. Hansko is the preferred player from Juve at the moment. Juventus want to go for 2 center backs. So Hansko, they will go with a push. Waiting for Feyenoord, because of course they need to play a few games in Eredivisie plus 2 games in Champions League, so they want to go for him. But Hansko is the player that they want to go for. Araujo, they wait for the answer. Then Danso is picking up from Lens. He's a really good player. He should have gone to Roma. Then he didn't pass the medicals.
You read the same comment. We both read the same comment.
No, I cannot. It's impossible. You know that. We are laughing and joking, but it's difficult for content creators that are doing one club, because of course you can speak about Serie A globally, you can speak about other leagues, but you cannot go and work for one other club. It's impossible. You will be hated by your actual fan base, but also the future one will hate you. You are blocked.
Unless you're Zlatan Ibrahimovic, isn't it? Giuseppe, go to every club. But no, you're right.
But no, players they can do, because at the end they are professional. Ibra never said, yeah, of course, Ibra, he loved every club. But for content creators, it's impossible. It's impossible.
No, unless you never disclose which team you support. But obviously for us, it's pretty obvious.
It's impossible. I have a tattoo of you. Imagine you celebrate. Impossible. Impossible. What do you think about Saud Abdulhamid from Roma?
What, as an option? I haven't seen these links. We're linked to him, or?
No. I think it's just a question. Look, my opinion is it's a good prospect, but now he needs to show.
He needs time, He needs time, of course, to prove it in the Serie A.
And the language. The language is super important. It's difficult, guys, to learn the language. So he needs a bit of time, but it's a really good prospect. Bravo. You said about disrespecting if he leaves. What are these words from like 3 days ago when he said Juventus is my Real Madrid? Would he disrespect? Because we are speaking about Juve selling Cambiaso, but I'm just saying, what if it's Cambiaso saying, oh, yeah, I love Cancelo, I love Pep Guardiola, I love City, I love the Premier, I want to leave.
Maybe.
It's easy to say, that the Ligt criticized us.
Look, maybe Giuseppe, maybe he feels that way, but if he has made these statements saying Juventus is my Real Madrid, obviously if he was to leave, it would make it a lot worse, definitely, because if that is the case, you would want to sign a contract for life. You'd never feel the need to leave the club unless something drastic happens. You argue massively with the board or they force you out in some way. Maybe it's a question of, we don't know. Obviously, we're never going to know if Cambiaso is also willing to move to City. Maybe he wants to go as much as Juventus are willing to sell him for the 75 million euros. Or maybe it's a question of Juventus saying, listen, Andrea, look, 75 million, you're going to have to go. I don't want to go. No, you're going to have to go for that money. We don't know. But I'd like to think that that statement he truly believes in his heart, and it's not him asking to leave the club or pushing for a move away. But at the same time, Giuseppe, I don't know how accurate these sources are. Maybe you've spoken about it on the channel or not, but I saw some sort of interview circulated on Twitter the other day of I think his name's Mombati or something like that. No, not Monblano. I'm getting the name wrong then. It ends in Arti. He's an agent, and he was talking about how there were certain players that are unhappy with Motta's play or something like that. He was talking about why Danilo was to leave the club, and he said, apparently Danilo got called by Giuntoli to explain what's going on, and he said that some players were unhappy with the way Motta's system is working, and then Giuntoli denied these allegations when Motta found out about it through a young player. And then he listed names like Danilo, Cambiaso, Vlahovic, Gatti, and Douglas Luiz being unhappy with Motta's system. I don't know how accurate that is. I just watched this video. The guy said it on Sky Sports in Italy. And Cambiaso was one of those 5 names. So
Gianni Balzarini.
No, I wasn't. Let me find it real quick. Because
but I read about it as well. At the moment, I have personally no confirmation about who's happy, who is not happy. People are saying Massimo Brambati.
Yeah, Brambati, that's the name. This is have you watched the video, Giuseppe?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, I just found it interesting because I look at it and I think, obviously Cambiaso had an injury, he wasn't always playing. Then Dougie's obviously been on the bench a lot. Danilo got kind of forced out. Vlahovic is unhappy, he's not renewing. So is there any truth to that story, especially now because Cambiaso could be leaving? Maybe there could be to an extent. Obviously, we'll never know. These are just words. We're not in the club, in and out around the club. We don't know. These are just hypotheticals. But are these guys truly unhappy at the club? Are they unhappy with Motta? It'd be, it's an interesting talking point, and it's definitely something we need to consider.
Look, of course, if all the players are leaving the coach and are not supporting, we have a problem. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Now, what Brambati was saying is that Cristiano Giuntoli asked to Danilo what was happening with the defensive performances. Because we were starting to concede some goals where Danilo said we are not really happy with some things, and not only me, but a few players, which then apparently had some confirmations. When the voices came out, Thiago Motta would have asked true or not, where Giuntoli said, no, we didn't speak. Look, I don't know. In football clubs, you always have these kind of talks. You always had, and you will always have. A lot of time we don't hear them. This time it leaked. Is it true or not? I don't know. The only thing that I'm expecting much more from Cristiano Giuntoli is to step up. He needs to be the man there, especially in a team without leaders. Because if you have Del Piero, Buffon, Chiellini, even Bonucci, Barzagli, these kind of players, Pirlo, they will figure out. They will fix these things. If you don't have them, you need a person like Giuntoli to say, "Oh, guys, stop. This is the way." I listen, but then we speak. If we start with the secret and then he didn't say he said, that's problematic. Look, a team that is not cohesive will never work. So hopefully these news are not correct. We had a donation from Sader that said, Beppe, Luca, supporting the team or the individual player, especially at Juve. On that one, I 100% agree.
Of course. It's just not nice to see your favorite players or players you're linked to emotionally leave the club, of course. But yeah, of course. But it's just not nice to see. To be honest, man, it's not nice to hear these rumors at all or see them.
Neven is saying something totally correct. I said Allegri and Bonucci, they worked well together beside not liking each other, except at the end where it totally collapsed. But
because it's professional. That's how it should be, Giuseppe. There shouldn't be, specific rivalries or any sort of beef in the changing room, specifically between the coach and the players. Things like that. It's very petty, and we need to hope that realistically there's not these divisions, because it's not going to help us achieve our ultimate goal, which is obviously winning games, winning trophies as a club, as a team. So, of course,
what do you think about that one? Even if it's not, guys, this is not even.
Nathan Ake is a good player, but he's got injury problems, a lot of injury problems. So no.
So then it's the ideal player for Juve.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Is there one topic that you want to go through that we didn't discuss? The last topic before closing and say goodbye.
Let's talk about the upcoming fixtures, man. Let's talk about the rest of January, just because I feel like, Giuseppe, I don't know what you think, man, but I really think this could be a make or break month for Motta in this, from the perspective of the fans. I think there's a lot of question marks around him by a lot of fans already asking, is Motta Juventino? Is he the right man for the club? Does he have that mindset? Because, he's come out in interviews saying winning's not an obsession, which obviously goes against the great Boniperti's quote, which
he addressed, because I think that at the club they told him that was absolutely not a good one.
Exactly. It's not a good thing to say. But I think this month, so far, not gone well at all. He's got Milan, Club Brugge, Napoli, Benfica to make things right. I think at the end of the month, I'm not sure what you think, Giuseppe, but I think a lot of Juventus fans, whether it's right or wrong, will have made up their mind on Motta. And I'm not saying, even if he was to lose these next 4 games, touch wood, he doesn't. Hopefully he doesn't. I'm not saying it's justified for Juventus fans to call him out and say, no, Motta needs to leave the club. But we both know how reactionary football fans are and how emotional football fans are. There's definitely going to be those sort of talking points and stuff. So what do you think in the sense of how important this month is for Motta's credibility within the fan base and just the reassurance he's going to give, to the Juventini of the world, until the end of the season, really?
Look, I have never been like that. I don't like to judge midway with definitive things like out or in. I like to wait until the end of the season. For me, there is one thing that is extremely important this season is qualifying to the Champions League.
Yeah.
Top 4, top 5, whatever it is, if you want to continue with that project. That doesn't mean that if you qualify, you are obliged to continue with the project. You sit at the table, you discuss, and you say, okay, are there the conditions to continue together? Because we were happy about this. We were not happy about this. Can you fix this? And also the coach asking, can you fix the problems that I had? If you all agree, we continue with the project, but at one condition, we need to qualify to Champions League. Otherwise, it's already over.
Yeah, of course.
Now, of course, I'm not a big fan of sacking coaches midway, because you believed in a coach, you changed the players for the coach. You go with one vision. And when we say project, there is a huge big thing that people sometimes they confuse. Project means it needs to work immediately. No, like you mentioned earlier about Arsenal, etc. I saw a lot of clips of people joking about Arteta. They wanted him out. It was, they were mocking him. At the end, now he's respected because he had the time to do it, which you don't have that much at Juve. So
yeah, exactly. They're two different clubs. Obviously,
yeah,
now there's a lot of Arsenal fans that are Arteta out because they've had enough of this. It's been 5 years now. They haven't won a league title. They haven't even won a trophy since they have won Community Shields, but they haven't won like a relevant trophy in a long time.
of course. But
So-
they gave him a bit of time.
Of course, it's different. He spent 800 million. He's had 5 years. And I agree with you. Project does take time. But like you said, Giuseppe, at Juventus, obviously fans are I would say we're very greedy and we're very selfish in the sense that we know, well, we think as Juventus fans, we have the divine right. And every big club thinks this, by the way, not just us. Man United, Real Madrid, Barcelona, all the biggest clubs in the world think that they have a divine right to win every single season. Whether that's right or wrong, whether you think, that's the only problem because that puts a lot of pressure on whichever the coach is.
I would be super happy to give Motta a second season, but you need to qualify to Champions League. There is no yes, there is no. This is exactly the same thing that I said for all the other coaches. I celebrated the goal of Faraoni when we were in danger with Pirlo. We qualified, and I said personally we need to stop with Pirlo because I don't believe that we can continue with him. I'm waiting for the end of the season to understand. Then if I would not be surprised when you say, what about this month? I would not be surprised if they go with a crazy decision. You know why? Because I knew perfectly the management under Agnelli. I knew perfectly the management before Agnelli. I don't know this management. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
of course.
According to me, Juventus do not sack coaches midway. The last time that it happened, it was in that extremely difficult period with Ciro Ferrara. Then it happened back then, but it was a weak management. That was a temporary management that took a decision. Since then, it never happened again. Before that, we needed to go really far to find that back. So the mentality of Juve is not changing midway, but we have a total new management. I don't know if Giuntoli, in his way of seeing things, is sacking coaches. He probably already did at Napoli. So will he has the decision, the power to say, we are not satisfied, we change? There is one name that last time, for the people that were watching, I just, mentioned there. But if that would happen, which I really hope will not, because that means that it's a total disaster. But if this happens, the name is already there. Will it be a temporary coach or not? But pay attention to Tudor.
Yeah, I agree with you. I wouldn't sack a coach mid-season anyway. I'd give him at least until the end of the season to evaluate everything properly. But I do think, I know someone in the comments said it's not make or break this month. I'm not. Of course, it's not. If we win the rest of the season, if we lose these games in the month, we could hypothetically go on and win every single other game of the season. But I just think this month is important just because of the names of the teams we're playing, and these are head-to-heads. These are like sconti diretti, so these are important, especially Champions League games. So just to measure the team and stuff.
I give you two good news. The first one is that I was totally devastated and extremely worried in all the last games because it went from worse to worse. It was really, I was really losing hope, and I said, the one against Atalanta gave me a bit of hope that this team can do something. Then will it happen or not? I don't know. And that's the first good news, that Beppe has a bit more hope. The second beautiful news could potentially be this one. Apparently, Di Marzio came back on the big statement of this afternoon saying that Juventus and Motta, they do not want to sell Cambiaso. They view him as a key player. You see? I saw the first time Luca smiling today on the channel.
Guys, who sent the direct link of this live to Motta's WhatsApp? Who's got Motta's WhatsApp in the chat? Someone sent it. I know. Someone sent it over, and he was like, you know what? No, I can't do this. Isn't it, guys? Someone said that. How long ago was this, though? Is this the most recent tweet or something?
Yeah. Of course, I need to check the source myself, but let me check. Kolo is fantastic.
If someone, Giuseppe, if the guy that commented that just made that up himself, you're an evil man. That you're wrong for that. If that guy made up that tweet, you're wrong for that. By the way, your time will come if you said that. If you made that up.
But it could be that he's on television because now the shows will start. Can someone please confirm or not? I will try to check before going with a full celebration mode. I know here the last news that I have indeed is from 1 hour. No, not even. It's from 20 minutes ago, and it is Juventus is asking 75 minutes for Cambiaso.
Okay, he's key, but we need money still.
So at the moment, I cannot confirm the news that we heard earlier. Hey guys, the third shirt is back in stock. Attention, that's a really good news for people that want to buy it. Bravo. You have the you have the third shirt, right?
Yeah, I have two. I have one with Yildiz 15, which I got before, and then I got the Yildiz 10 one. So yeah, luckily I do have it.
Good. Okay. Oh, we did a beautiful live, huh?
Yeah, it was important live. We discussed a lot of important topics, Giuseppe. I enjoyed it a lot, and you know, just hoping that with those 3 points come against Milan at the weekend, because we desperately need, especially because Milan are right on our tails as well now. We can't afford to lose or drop points again. We need to win these head-to-heads. Start climbing that table, man.
I hope, guys, that you were happy with Luca being back on the channel. So there will be no live of Mercato this evening because we just went live now. Tomorrow we go back with a video. Checking me if something crazy is happening in the evening. Of course, I will come back with another video, but I don't think so. Let's see. But grazie, Luca. You were again a fantastic guest. We should find a concept like that, like Luca and Beppe, 1 hour every week on the channel would be beautiful.
Yeah, it would be nice. It would be nice. We could we'll come up with a good name and a good series for that. That would be good, Giuseppe.
Ciao a tutti, grazie a tutti, grazie
Ciao,
Luca.
ragazzi.
Ciao.
Buonanotte.